All right. Well, hello everyone. While it's the Monday of the first week of Advent, I just wanted to get a real quick supplementary video out here. Thank you for watching the previous video, my homily for the first Sunday of Advent. Peace on earth, goodwill towards all. It was very much a well-received message, more than typical, and that made a lot of sense. Actually, I think this was a very well-timed message to kick off the season of Advent. So while I had the time and while it was still pretty recent, uh, again, thanks for watching. I'm glad that the message was uh, easily understood by many people. That's always one of my concerns. Uh, if the thing I'm thinking of translates into the minds of other people, that's always a gamble. But as just a little bit of commentary and supplementary info, I mean, for the record, that story was absolutely true. That actually did happen a week before Friday, and I really was just completely floored by the guy's just jovial nature and kindness that he wanted to share. Uh, it was pretty amazing and spiritually and emotionally refreshing, and that's what made it such an easy story to share. My only regret, really, is that I had to film it the way I did. I wish that it was possible for these things to be filmed during Mass, because for this one, I really wanted to be in front of the altar, looking people in the eye, for all three Masses for this homily. So I actually filmed my homily earlier in the afternoon. I was alone in church. And it's kind of a shame. It would have been nice to capture on video just people able to laugh at me when I confess that yes, even priests get jumbled on the responses. That was um, that was a light-hearted moment for all three masses, which doesn't happen very often. Um, and as a matter of fact, I earned people points with somebody that I don't talk to super often, but she was with her parents at 5 o'clock mass, and she knows a thing or two about downtown Milwaukee. So she was hearing my homily, and she asked, "So Father Justin, like, where exactly were you?" Because she had kind of a hunch about where I started, and I said, "Well, I was at an empanada place on Brady Street," and she goes like La Masa, that's my favorite restaurant. So we both had a nice little chat about excellent eateries in Milwaukee. But it was kind of funny that she could kind of tell basically where I was in the city, given the details of the story. So that was very much a bonus for me. Was not expecting that. And the other thing I kind of wanted to say right now, again, while it's fresh in my mind, is that part of the reason this story was so important to share is that I'm a bit of a coward when it comes to this sort of thing. I'm not really the kind of guy that's going to stick my head out of my car and shout "God bless you" to, you know, a random person in another car, even if they do have Christian symbols, plainly on the car. I really can admire that kind of bravery. That's one thing I struggle with, and who knows, after things like this happen, maybe we're all more capable than we realize when it comes to that kind of joyful bravery. And of course, now that I don't need to worry about the time and getting people out of church in a timely manner, uh, this message also did very much tie into another thing. A lot of religious leaders and community leaders are stressing. I've mentioned this before in some other videos. It's we have this deep concern about our diminishing ability as Americans to respectfully disagree with one another. Any disagreement or start of a discussion becomes this fight to the death struggle. And there's a huge chance that if you say something that is not entirely what someone else wants to hear, You'll be shouted down, be accused of something, or be silenced entirely. And if that's not enough, they might go on their social media and spread the message of how misinformed and evil you are. So, at least in the short term, gotta say that's an effective strategy. Because most reasonable people, when they're treated like that, we tend to give up and stay quiet because we don't want the hassle. Human beings are paths of least resistance creatures, after all. But in spite of that, peace on earth, goodwill towards all. That is a refusal to give in to that kind of harsh attitude, to treat others as we'd like to be treated. And that is such a great goal in life because we're going to lose our tempers here and there. What I said in the last video, casual cruelty. Uh, it happens. It is a part of our behavior. I know maybe a handful of people who appear to have saint-like patience with others and never lose their cool, but they're rare. Most of us do yell and act selfishly at times, especially when emotions are running hot. Uh, we normally feel it when the consequences come knocking. We tend to regret it later on. Um, it really does take work to rise above that instinct for the sake of something better. Peace on earth, goodwill towards all. So thank you again for watching. It was a great start to Advent, and I wish that your holiday season be merry and bright.